Can you hear me clear too?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hello, Andres.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here.
Absolutely.
So, I would like to ask you a couple questions and to hear your feedback on High Lake Mastermind. How is your experience, and maybe just introduce yourself and what was your point A? Like what with what you entered the program and how is it going right now for you?
Okay. Well, to whoever is listening to this, my name is Andreas Saltas. I'm Greek, for those of you who want to know. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I practice in the state of Texas. Um, been living in Texas for about a year and a half now. Um, and yeah, so I practice physical therapy. Um, I'm very active, meaning as I work out, go to the gym, eat healthy, I work many hours. I still do, but it's not a big issue. So I'm currently 37 years old. And yeah, so that's a little bit about myself. I would say before the mastermind program, I had a sense of feeling stuck, wasn't progressing mentally, physically, um, business wise as well. So I felt like I was kind of stuck in a rut. And I knew in the back of my head like what to do. Um, but I was too fearful of taking necessary steps because it felt like a comfort zone. So I needed more of help as far as being held accountable and also to somebody kind of give me permission to take action into
Hmm.
solving all these things. So I would say that by hiring you and enrolling into the mastermind program, it was more of the it was more of the accountability. It was more of the structured way on, okay, this week we're going to attack this week we're going to attack that. So I had much more of organ a systematic organization to take certain actions.
Hmm.
Um,
Would
I
you
was,
say, sorry for interrupting, would you say you had a better focus on like what's actually important to kind of handle right now? What would be the best investments for your time and, in regards of your health and what exactly should you do?
yes, it gave me lesser things to focus on and take my focus on other things that were quite unimportant.
Mhm.
So I focused on the things that were priority for me: health, finances, so my socialism, meaning my ability to be social with people,
Mhm.
because I did have a lot of social anxiety. You know, I think COVID was the reason why I developed it because of staying home all the time
Yeah.
and then working online, always home. And I developed a fear of approaching people. So I would say that I focused on two or three things when we had our meetings. It made me focus on just those three things, regardless of how everything else falls. Certain things were out of my control, and whatever was out of my control, I let it go because I knew that I couldn't make a change. But things that I could control, such as my physical health, my mental health, my business, my ability to meet new people, that I knew I had was under my control.
Mhm.
So it just gave me the realization of what to focus on that is under my control and that are priority for me. And that's what this program gave me that ability to do so.
Can you say you have more confidence right now in those areas
Oh yeah,
you focused on?
much more confidence, especially in the meeting new people area, and the a lot more confidence to be able to progress in my business more. Like when I would talk with new clients coming in, I wouldn't be so fearful of telling them, hey, this is how much my sessions cost. You know, right now it's like, this is how much I cost. Take it or leave it, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Back then it was more of like, I would analyze the person through the camera, looking at their background, where they live and things like that, and be like,
Mhm.
all right, I
Mhm.
may not charge you that much, I'll do a little bit less. But then that little bit less meant less for me, but still the same amount of work as I would do for somebody that would pay high
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah. And you felt like something unfair, right? And it's also like a lot of energy from your side, but the exchange in the money, it's not the same. So it kind of feels like,
No, I
yeah,
feel like I deserved more for the work that I do, and for the accessibility that I have, being for them to be able to even contact me through my cell phone, giving my own personal number.
yeah.
Like I'm giving so much of my time, even after hours, even after work, I would still be with them talking through the text
Mhm.
messages. So yeah, I wasn't getting the best of the buck out of there.
So it's kind of you, I guess, the realization of your true value, like your how much you worth as the professional
Mhm.
increased.
Yeah, yeah. And I think another point that the mastermind helped me was when we had a discussion about. So it was both the mastermind as well as the money code, where you stated that your strongest point is teaching, when you teach other professionals. I knew I had that ability I had a good way of teaching, but I never believed that I could be able to do that because my thinking was, okay, I know I learned this stuff from somewhere.
Mhm.
People will might as well go to the source rather than go through me.
Mhm.
But then the feedback that I would get from my current mentees, because I started my mentorship program, my current mentees, they all say the same thing. It's just that the way you explain things is what makes it fun and easy. Somebody else can teach us the same exact thing, but they can relay the message a lot more different, a lot more complicated. They, from what I gather from them, saying that I have a much more of an empathetic type of way of teaching. Like, okay, if you don't understand something, don't worry about it. We're gonna go together. I'll explain it further until you really get it. So the ability to have patience and be empathetic and a very, from what I've been told, a very calm tone when I
Yes.
when I teach
Mhm.
is something comforting for them. So
Yeah.
it looks like they buy in more into how they feel about it rather than so much of the actual knowledge that they're gaining.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
I think that was a big point that both the money code and the mastermind definitely helped on that.
Your money code is like all about almost the same numbers, which like shows that those are
Yeah,
strongest talents of yours.
yeah,
The ability to inhale huge amount of information and to teach it in a super easy way where people understand, which is like the most valuable thing in when it comes to teaching. Because if you really a teacher who nobody understands, like there's no value in your teaching.
yeah, yeah. That's
Mhm.
true. Very
Yeah,
much true.
I'm super happy to hear that. Let's talk a little bit about your state of being. You know that before, and we discussed this actually in one of our masterminds. I think yesterday, like yesterday, was it yesterday? That I've noticed that you guys, your face is changed. Like it's like you're glowing. It's you. I remember first mastermind, everybody they like you were like like that,
Yeah.
and like last mastermind both of you were smiling and
Well,
like
I
glowing.
remember I was miserable. Like I had dark circles under my eyes and
Yeah.
back. So I was just constantly tired. But that was because of overthinking of the many things that I try to tackle, which I still have a lot going on, right? Somehow though it just doesn't feel the same. Like I'm just as busy as I was back then. Actually, I'm a lot more busier now than I am now. For some reason, it's not draining. as
Mhm.
much. It's still exciting. I think what made it exciting is another thing that the mastermind did also teach me was don't be afraid to delegate, right? Don't be afraid to, because I had a syndrome, I would like to say, that nobody's better than me. So I thought myself, okay, I'm the guru. But if I'm the guru, how the hell am I ever going to be able to grow a business? Right.
Yeah.
So I took that ego part out because we did touch upon ego.
Mhm.
And I said, all right, let me just drop my ego, even though it felt dramatically uncomfortable. Like, who else is going to do the same stuff
Of
I
course.
can? Nobody can do this until I was wrong, until I'm seeing like patients of mine that I delegate now to another therapist that I just hired, and they're saying the most amazing stuff about this person. I'm like, okay. Now, I delegated at least 5 people to her right now, and it's just all right. I'm still getting my cut financially. They're still getting better, which is what matters to me more. I don't care about the finances. I care about their well-being. And it just,
It's working. Yeah.
yeah, it's working. And now my ability to view a bigger future for myself as okay, I can make this into a big company now. Kind of,
Mhm.
I can hire another therapist and then another therapist, which is the sole reason why I'm doing this mentorship thing, is that, okay, I'm able to teach these professionals. Eventually, I can hire them
Yeah.
at some point. So it works both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels like you now actually started doing business.
Yeah. More business now. I'm
Mhm.
slowly feeling as I'm an entrepreneur again.
I love that. So how is the overall? I remember you told me that in the morning you also had like those kind of state of anxiousness, worriness all the time. Did that change for you right now?
Yeah, that definitely changed. There are days that I feel that, but that also, I think that ties into the quality of sleep that I get.
Mhm.
There are times I come home very late at night and I'm still energetic, the hypertension kind of a thing from working all day, that it's hard to fall asleep. But I think that dissolves the moment I start meditating.
Mhm.
Um, and I was very skeptic about meditation and everything, but as a brain-based guy that I am, I'm like, all right, I know that meditation has benefits. Let's
Yeah.
not let's not think spiritual stuff. Let's think about physical, neurological things. Is meditation legit or is it bullshit? Until I read about it from many sources, and then until I tried it, I'm like, okay, now I'm onto something. I don't. That's that. Meditation is what helped me with the overthinking a
Mhm.
lot. And that's what happened every morning, overthinking and overthinking. And then I would put on the TV to distract me until I realized that was an additional thing that would make me overthink because
Mhm.
I'm focusing there, I'm focusing on my phone, focusing on notes. Oh God. So it's like my morning would start off in a way where I'm like, oh, another day and then another day. It's the same shit all over again until meditation, where it led me to enjoy very small things, such as it's sunshine out. Go take advantage of it. See if you can meditate while you're outside. Try not to think of anything, or at least think of one thing and stick to it. Right. It took practice though. I gotta say that wasn't easy in the beginning, but I do have a background of meditation. I used to do it. I stopped and then start again, stopped and then start again until I was always the type of person that would meditate only when it was necessary, when it was like a need kind of a thing.
Yeah.
When everybody feels amazing, they're like, why do I need it right now? I'm feeling great.
Nobody does it.
But your brain weakens with that. It
Mhm.
loses its benefits from the meditation practice that you've been doing. At least that's what I've noticed. So yeah, my mornings have become more relaxed in a way and a more energetic to tackle my days now.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm super happy to hear that. And one more thing that I wanted to ask you, who would you recommend this mastermind?
Anyone right now, but to be more specific, um, business people, those who have their own businesses. Even that's what I'm saying, anyone, because a business person can come to you, an employee can come to you that feels stuck in their life. Um, those with relationships that have toxic relationships and are hard to get out of those
Mm,
toxic relationships. Even athletes can benefit from it because they athletes, excuse me, athletes depend on visualization a lot. So that's what I consider this mastermind thing is it's a very good visual. It's a very good um, visual process to
mhm.
to see things. How do I see myself if I just do this one little thing?
Yeah.
You know, but I think the most that will benefit the most out of it will be uh, business people that are entrepreneurs that are lost in their ways of how to operate their work. Um, those in toxic relationships specifically. So yeah, those though if I had to put a top two, it would be them.
Mhm. Also, one more question. Thank you so much for that. The game. Do you like it?
Yeah, yeah. I like it because it's unpredictable. It's like you don't expect what you're gonna get. And
Mhm.
every card you pull out, I'm like, oh, okay, I could definitely need a little bit of help on this one. Um,
Do you remember like the most significant card that you got?
um, two of them actually was empathy and decision making.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's when empathy more towards myself, like, hey man, if you weren't able to help out this one person in my work, relieve their pain or something like that in that one session because you think you're the guru, it's okay. Nobody, they still love you, they still trust you, they're still going to stick by you to help them with their current pain levels. So I was more empathetic of it's okay if I failed them in a way,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, I would fail them if I quit, if I tell them, oh, you're not for me, but I still keep on trying. And the more I did that, the more okay, now I thought of something to give this person, and whatever I thought about it, they did it. And like, hey, now that actually worked. I don't feel the pain anymore.
Mhm.
Awesome. Um, decision making, that was a portion of hiring another therapist. Was I made that firm decision and I did not look back. And I don't regret it at all. Um, decision making also into indeed what is important for me in my daily life and what should I get rid of to
Mhm.
not worry about so much.
Mhm.
Um,
How do you see like why does this game work?
it works because again, it's something unpredictable. It has like underneath that card will have something that for you to focus on.
Mhm.
Realizing that, oh, like I've never focused on my empathy. I've never focused on decision making. You just bring it to your awareness and you act upon it. And it was just a very fun way on what to focus on throughout the course. Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I love the part of the fun way because
yeah,
usually when people think of personal development courses, it's a lot of let's work on trauma, let's go deep inside
yeah,
of like the
yeah.
healing part. And I wanted to create something that would be fun. This is the game. Like I played it myself. I'm like, wow, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Like I'm focusing on communication, and the entire week I'm into like I remember about that
Mhm.
empathy and not so much like in the mastermind I'm not giving you all type of informations that you may not even need,
Yeah.
and I see like okay, like this is probably something you would benefit, like is there it's a inner child or something on like life missions and how to set goals and what to focus on. um and I'm like this is easy, and that's why like what we achieved all goals in the month.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I was surprised. Like I was surprised.
So was
I'm
I.
like, oh, wow, in 1 month? That's crazy.
And to put it also into better perspective, this was a lot different than actually working with an actual therapist, because therapy, it feels very, very serious, it's
Mhm.
always like very serious attitude. And it felt judgmental in a way, even though they were not judging, but it just felt like you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do
Mhm.
this. Okay, I get it. You're not giving me though the fuel that I need to. It was too it was too aggressive. Learning doing this mastermind through the cards though, it was calmer. It was more empathetic. It was more fun.
Mhm.
That's what made me inclined to stick to the program.
Yeah, and I'm proud of you. Actually, yeah, you were on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Thanks.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
So, and now, what is your future vision for yourself?
I'll be honest, like I still don't have a clear-cut goal where I see myself business-wise specifically. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't say financially, business-wise. Um, although thoughts are coming into my head, like maybe open up an office of mine or two offices, apparently. Um, because there are still some struggles that I'm facing with how am I going to do this hybrid thing that I'm doing, working online and then working in person. It's like two different
Mhm.
worlds right now, trying to fit it into a week. Um, but I would say the goals as far as where do I want my health to go, where do I want my how I want my physique to look. Um, the ability to not have that kind of fear of going and networking and communicating with people, that has dramatically changed. And my goals is to just keep on doing it now without stopping.
I love it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I'm gonna stop the recording.
sure.
Uh, just